Legends. Another thing about Legends, and I really learned it from you and Rob, because we had to use this in Legends a lot, is that in the past when I'd run businesses, I would make a plan and stick with the plan, and I'd go down with the ship. You know, if this strategy wasn't working, I just keep hammering until it did, and sometimes it wouldn't, and it was to my detriment. And I learned from you guys to learn how to pivot quicker. Like, let's try this strategy out for a little while, defined period of time, and see how it goes. If it's not, let's pivot and make a different strategy. And so that's made me a lot more effective and happy in my life too, and not just being so rifle focused on something.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Legends Boxing Podcast. I'm really excited today because literally, guys, out of like 100 people, Matt is in the top 20 of my favorite people in the world. And so welcome, Matt. This is Matt Frentheway, guys. He's one of I'm going to say it, one of the original founders of Legends. He helped Legends get to where it currently is to this day. He's been with us since about 2015. Yep. I'm going to let him do most of the talking to kind of introduce himself more about that, because I know he's got a really good story to tell in his journey, and he's 2015 to now and still with us. And I know he's a current franchisee owner of the Scottsdale location. Yep, that's right. And so, excuse me, it's great to have him here. Welcome, Matt. Thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here and in the top 20%.
20 people, not just 20%, 20 people. I mean, that's pretty good, dude. I mean, I know a lot of people, so to be in the top 20 of my favorite, then you're pretty high up there. So thanks again for being here. How's your day been going?
It's been going good. Yeah. I just flew back from Scottsdale last night, got a good night of sleep, and got my drive down here. Yeah, it's good.
Tell me a little bit about that. We'll just, what's it like being a franchise owner for a business that's in a completely different state?
Yeah, so I've owned lots of businesses. This is the first time I've ever owned one out of state, let alone 2 or 3 hours away from me. It's been challenging. I've learned a lot, but it has been challenging. I'm used to businesses where I like to run them semi-absentee, where I spend 10 hours a week on them or so, but where I can just drop in any time and tweak things or talk to the staff or just have my presence there. That helps a lot too. And in this, I've been kind of handicapped and really have to rely on my team and making sure things happen. So it's been challenging, but it's been a good experience, learning a lot of things. Good. That's good. I mean, that's always, the move forward is to keep learning. No, it's not a failure because you're succeeding and learning. That's right. Being on this side now with you as a franchise owner, it is definitely a different perspective than being in the grind every single day. So fortunately, I'm here in the state of Utah, so I can't even imagine what it'd be like having to travel back and forth from Arizona to Utah. So good on you. How long have you been doing that? So we opened our gym almost 2 years. Oh, wow. My birthday, May 17th, 2021. So we're on our 2-year anniversary next month. That's awesome. But yeah, it's I don't mind going or flying to Scottsdale. It's all good, and I do a lot of stuff on Zoom, but Zoom just isn't quite as good as kneecap to kneecap in a lot of cases. That's very true. Yeah. Very true. I mean, it's still that face-to-face interaction. Still that. I mean, Legends culture is what it's built about, and it's about those people coming together, not virtually. And so. So yeah, I can totally understand that. Yep. So let's jump in a time capsule though. Let's go back to 2015. Let's see how well you remember. What enticed you or intrigued you about being a part of Legends all the way back then? Well, we're going to have to go in an even a bigger time capsule to find out what my motivation was at the time. So I had a real estate appraisal business here in Utah for quite a time, and then the 2007 Great Recession hit, and unfortunately they took all my clients were mortgage brokers and banks, and I could work directly with them and create relationships, but the government took all that away. They made it so that mortgage brokers and banks couldn't work directly with an appraiser. Mm-hmm. So I lost, not only did the real estate economy drop, but I lost all my clients and I had to restart. So I'll be totally vulnerable here. I had 5 kids, still have 5 kids, was married, run my own business, but it went to zero, man. So I had to get on food stamps. And so that was a really painful process. I got off food stamps within a year or so, which is good, but
I had to reinvent myself, and I went to fire school and became a paramedic and was hoping to get a job doing that, but then things changed. But I vowed at that time that I would never let the government be in charge of my income ever again. And with the real estate, they can be in banking, they can be in charge of your income. And so I needed and wanted a business outside of real estate. And so I was looking for several years, and I would think like, okay, that's a good idea. Well, how do I get that started? Well, that's a great idea. How do I get that started? And I'm not the most visionary, creative guy with ideas. I'm more of an execution or operations guy. And so I just wasn't ever coming with the right idea. And then I met your brother, Rob. Rob and I became really good friends. And I think that you and Rob had just opened up the standalone Legends, the OG, where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
Was it back to, I don't know what, 2014 or 2013 is when you guys opened the doors here?
2014, yeah.
2014. And Rob had some other business stuff going on. And you guys were looking for somebody that could come in and help out and get this place streamlined and things. And so I was like, that's a great opportunity. I love fitness. I used to bodybuild when I was younger. And it's just a positive feedback loop the fitness industry is, you know. Real estate, not so much. All you hear about is negativity if you do something wrong. But in fitness, you hear if things are positive. But anyways, that motivated me is my answer to having a business outside of real estate with you and Rob. And so I jumped in, super excited and this wasn't, we didn't even talk about franchising at this point. This was just one location that we wanted to get to. I think 200 members was our first goal. Mm-hmm. That was our first big goal, is 200 members.
I remember you took that metal thing from that thing and you started drawing like a thermometer on it. And this is where we're at, guys. And this is where we want to go. I think we still have that somewhere.
Rob framed it and gave it to me.
Oh, did he?
And I'm afraid to hang it on my wall because it doesn't look exactly like a thermometer. It looks like something else. Inappropriate, but it's a good reminder.
Oh man, I wish we had a picture of that to show our listeners right now. That would be amazing. That was so awesome. I remember it was actually in this very room that I can't remember what I was doing, but I was fixing something, I'm sure. And Rob comes in and sits me down and he talks to me about you. I had never met you. And he comes in and he's like, yeah, hey, you know, I've got this buddy. He wants to help us and he wants to invest. He wants to be a partner. You know, what do you think about that? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. And so that was like the first I had ever heard of you. And then I think the first day when you drew that thermometer was the first time that I had met you. Tell me, how long was it that when you came on, we hit that goal? I remember us hitting that goal. How long after was that we hit that 200 mark?
Oh, I don't remember correct. Maybe 3 months, maybe.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. I think we started with 70 members. Yeah. Is where that thermometer started, and we went to 200 pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty fast. It was within 6 months. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So definitely value add, guys. Big time value add from that point. Now, I also remember you were kind of like my first coach in training, right? Like I kind of trained you to be a coach and to like step in to do some coaching. So talk to me, remember that. Yeah. Talk to me some about that.
I got some good stories about that. So first of all, I mean, I was a wrestler since I was 5 or 6, I wrestled almost all the way through high school. So I wasn't like, I've been to, martial arts, I guess you could call that, but I'd never boxed ever in my life. And so when I became a partner here with you and Rob, I had never boxed in my life, let alone coach boxing. And so, I had to get in the ring and learn how to box. I remember it was back, you had this app called Coach's Eye. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it exists anymore. It was when iPhones kind of were new.
Yeah.
But you would film me punching the bag and then you'd show me, this is what you're doing wrong. It was really effective. So it really sped up my training fast. And at least knowing the fundamentals of boxing. But, I can't be a legitimate coach unless I actually get in the ring. And so, day before I'm going on a cruise, Rob gets me in the ring. And I think you were there too. But it was my first experience in the ring. Rob's going to box me. And I get in the ring and he says, okay, so do you want a fat lip, bloody nose, or black eye? And I said, just give me a bloody nose because I won't be able to see that on the trip. I'll heal. It'll be fine. Well, he gave me all 3. And so...
I remember that. I remember you actually had I think the scar is still there on the bridge of your nose.
And so here I went on a cruise with a fat lip and a black eye the whole cruise. I was like, thanks, Rob. But I guess that was my cutting my teeth to coaching. But I swear within a month of me learning how to box, you teaching me how to box, I was on the floor coaching. Mm-hmm. Maybe one of our first experiences of being a member coach. Fortunately, I had the fitness side of it because I've been working out forever. So, the conditioning part of it I understood already. But the boxing part, honestly, you guys said, just do ones and twos, Matt. Just do ones and twos. You can do fast ones and twos, whatever. You don't have to worry about throwing any other punches. Just coach them on ones and twos. And so that's really how I started learning or became a member coach. Is just, I mean, I knew all these other coaches or all these other punches a little bit, but ones and twos is what I focused on because that's really all I really knew.
Mm-hmm. No,
the members didn't know the difference.
No, they don't. And that's
they would
the
now.
thing. That's always the thing that I've always said to people is, you know, like as the former national head coach and training coaches all the time, especially with people who don't have boxing experience or a prior boxing background, it's that I'd be like, it's okay. I do. Mm-hmm. Okay. I do. And again, it's like any religion that sends somebody off to go teach their religion, right? They didn't start the religion, mm-hmm. but they were taught how to teach that religion. So we're the same exact way, right? We're going to teach you the boxing, and you helped us find that out and figure that out from back then, like mm-hmm. way back then. Because like before, big shout out to Cheyenne mm-hmm. White and Mary Lee Farnsworth. They are my two very first, what you would call a member coach now to mm-hmm. this day. They both started member coaching for me back at XSI. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was teaching a younger than 12-year-old class. It was like 8 to 11-year-olds, mm-hmm. and it was at a 5 o'clock time frame. And that was the class that they took over for me while it was there. And then they both followed me over. But that training was, you know, you guys know my workouts. Mm-hmm. Take care of the kids. Yep. Like that, like, here you go. Here's the kids class. Please take them off my shoulders. Like that was it. But now we had to like really take somebody who didn't really even know the workouts, mm-hmm. who wasn't even really a part of the culture for very long, yep. and teach you how to be able to coach those classes. Mm-hmm. And you stepped up in a big way, man. So it taught us so much then. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like, I think maybe a part of the kickstart in you and Rob's head and about franchising. Like, hey, we can like duplicate this. We can create this. We can do something else. Mm-hmm. So I remember our very first like transition into franchising was the Riverton location. Mm-hmm. Remember that with Lance?
Yep, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Talk to me about that.
So, well, you and me and Rob had a good thing going on here, and really we started systematizing. And by the way, coincidentally, I was systematizing my appraisal business at the same time I was doing this one. So, but the reason we were originally systematizing and documenting and making processes wasn't necessarily to make a franchise. It was just to make our lives easier. So we could hardly have to spend time at the gym mm-hmm. and still profit as a good business. That was the original intent. And I remember we started having you writing down workouts, and this is we had a whole training manual. Remember the first coach's manual that had to sign off on and everything?
Yeah.
And the purpose of that was just so that we could run the business efficiently and have free time. But it started taking off and doing really well, and we were like, well, we want to open some more. So we thought about opening corporate locations. And I remember Rob and I would go look at properties, and you would come along with us too on some of them. We even looked at some down in Orem here, mm-hmm. off the freeway.
Yeah, I remember that.
But we didn't have the capital to open up more corporate locations. And so we thought, well, maybe franchising is the next step to take, so we can expand and we don't have to put all our capital into it at the same time and make a good opportunity for other people at the same time. So magically, Lance over at Riverton, I can't remember the name of his original business.
Catchweight. Yes, Catchweight Boxing. Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know how Rob and Lance got put together. I don't know if Rob reached out to Lance or vice versa.
We went to spar. It was a boxing gym, and we wanted to go check it out and see what it was like for sparring. So we were originally there one night to spar, and that's how Rob and Lance's conversation kind mm-hmm. of started sparking right there. So. Mm-hmm.
And Lance wasn't doing so great with Catchweight. You know, it's his own independent business, and I think Lance came from the electrical wholesale supply business, uh-huh. not the fitness. So Lance agreed to be a guinea pig for a Legends location. And so we made a licensing agreement. He didn't pay us anything. We didn't charge him anything. It was just him trusting that we knew what the hell we were doing over here at Lehigh.
Yeah.
And so I know that you and Rob spent a shit ton of time over there training Lance and getting his new coaches and all that stuff going. And then he just took off like crazy. He hit 200 members like in a quarter of the time that it took us here at Lehigh to hit 200 members. And so then we thought we got something here. It's time to start seriously looking at franchising.
Yeah. And that's really, that had to have been in 2016, mm-hmm. I would say, because
Yeah, 2017 was like the official launch of the franchise. So yeah, in like 2016, and I remember like within a year, Lance is now only there when he wants to be there, and he's
buying a new black Dodge truck.
Yeah, a new house, and he's going on vacation with Heather and like all this stuff. And it was just like, this is awesome. Like this was amazing to see all of this kind of this transition happen. And so yeah, it's been really, really, really good. Talk to me a little bit about what are you doing right now because I know you own businesses, but you know you've got to make a full-time job. What's your full-time thing right now?
Yeah, so I have to credit Legends and you and Rob to my newer full-time career. I sold my appraisal business a few years ago, so I don't appraise anymore. Happy to be out of that business. And so now I do franchise consulting. And the way that came about is when we franchised Legends, we signed on with a company called FranChoice, who's a franchise broker, and the FranChoice's job is to present Legends or their franchises to people that want to own a franchise, match people up to the right franchise, kind of like an eHarmony for franchises, sort of. Okay. But that was my first exposure to FranChoice, and when we went to our launch there, when Legends launched with FranChoice, we went to their semi-annual event, and we got to show what we have and meet everybody there. But there's the nicest people in the world, the FranChoice people. And I thought at the time, I was like, if there's ever a spot in my life where I'm not doing Legends and I don't have a real estate company, I'd like to be a franchise consultant. And so it happened. You know, it happened 3 years ago. I've been doing it for 3 years ago, but I have to credit Legends and you and Rob for, you know, getting the background in franchising and understanding it well enough to be able to come help people buy franchises as well. So that's what I do full time now.
You enjoying it?
Love it. Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. I like that. I love it when people love what it is that they're doing. I've had a couple of conversations recently with some people and about that, you know, about what to do. Like, because, you know, being back in the coaching world, I love the interaction and the 17 and 18-year-old kids that, you know, like they're there and they're asking your coach what you know, questions about life and reality. And, you know, there's people that'll say, you know, do what you love, right? And then there's some people that'll say, do what you're good at. I love the fact that I get to do both.
Yeah, okay? Exactly.
And so that's my advice to people is be able to do that. If you can, do something that you're good at and that you love.
Yeah.
So that makes it good. So I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's two different things. You can do something that you're good at, but you can hate it. And that's not a happy life. And you can do something that you love. And they say, you know, do what you love and the money will follow. That happens in a lot of cases, but really you got to be practical, in my opinion, about it too. So you're right. Find something you love doing, but you're good at the same time. You got to have both of those things to have a happy life. Yeah,
I agree with that. I think if you find that niche, then, I mean, where's there to complain about?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The money comes from what you love, and so let's keep it going. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about in the last time, I mean, it's been a lot of years. We could tell so many stories about what's going on from 2015 to now. But in that time frame, tell me something Legends has helped you kind of overcome. It's like a trial or something in your life that just the culture and the people here helped you kind of like see a better way or get through it or whatever that was.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. There's so many things, but there's two things. I want to share two things. The first one is core values. You, me, and Rob, and I can't remember if there's anybody else in the room. Mary might have been around back then. I think it was us four. But Rob comes and says, hey guys, we need to have a core values. We have 0 core values here. And we're like, core values, what's that? You know, what's that for? And us four just hammered it out in an hour or two in the conference room over there. And we all decided what the core values. Everybody had an input. And that's how we came up with our core values that we have today. And that's been huge for Legends and for myself too. You know, results, real, belong, all those things that I can get behind and most everybody can get behind too. So that was a big game changer for me. And so at that point, when I learned how important core values are and the effectiveness of a business and making people happy with a good culture, I came up with my own personal core values around the same time. And that was a big learning experience in my life because of Legends. Another thing about Legends, and I really learned it from you and Rob, because we had to use this in Legends a lot, is that in the past when I'd run businesses, I would make a plan and stick with the plan, and I'd go down with the ship. You know, if this strategy wasn't working, I'd just keep hammering until it did, and sometimes it wouldn't, and it was to my detriment. And I learned from you guys to learn how to pivot quicker. Like, let's try this strategy out for a little while, define period of time, and see how it goes. If it's not, let's pivot and make a different strategy. And so that's made me a lot more effective and happy in my life too, and not just being so rifle focused on something.
That's awesome. So change is okay.
Yeah.
That's the point of that, is it's okay to change. It's okay, because change is, again, it's like we need to understand change happens every day around us without our control. And so when you have the opportunity to control the change, take advantage of it, right? Like change, make the change. If it's not working, another different way will work. It's the whole process of Thomas Edison, right? It took 1,000 times to create a light bulb. He didn't do it 999 times, just took the one. So he had to change it every single time. So I love that story. That I know will resonate to a lot of people that are listening to this. Is change is okay, you guys. Change is great. I know you're a busy guy, man, and I know you got a lot to do, and I really appreciate you being here. This has been an amazing chat. I always love sitting and having conversations with you, man. You again, top 20 favorite people. So if you guys are ever in the Scottsdale area, go check out his gym, man. Check out Legends. Yeah. I promise you, if you are a Legends member and you know the culture and the feeling of what it's like to walk into a Legends gym, you will feel it inside the walls out there too, in Scottsdale, Arizona. So Matt Frentheway, guys, thank you so much for being here, Matt.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it.